Rick Glazer has just dropped some new information on the Floyd Mayweather case. He said Floyd gave Al Heyman every chance to pay him his $120 he had of his that he let him work with for maybe to gain interest off the money, but he never gave him anything back. And Al Heyman stopped taking his calls. But he says Al Heyman settled out of court with Mayweather and paid him his $120 million back. Allegedly, Rick found this information to be true. Make sure you like, share, comment, and subscribe.
Because Floyd Mayweather himself is suing Al Heyman and Showtime for apparently.
Well, there's a misunderstanding.
Go ahead. All right,
He's not suing Al Heyman because Al Heyman already settled out of court.
Okay. Well, he's suing Showtime.
And Stephen Espinoza, correct. But I'm sure that part of the deal was that Heyman had to testify against Stephen Espinoza and Showtime. I'm sure of it. You know, you don't make settlements like that without that. So there you go.
Correct. How much more vindicated do you feel now?
Well, I had a well-known boxing person call me this week. I had about 60 people call me, but I had a well-known boxing person call me and I had a well-known media person call me. And they said, Rick Glazer, they both said, you look like the smartest guy in boxing right about now. I says, well, if I'm not, I'm pretty close to it. So what can you say? I mean, I said it all along, and it was just a matter of when it was going to happen. It should have taken this long. It was just Floyd giving Heyman every chance to pay him. And he had $120 million reputedly, supposedly, allegedly of Floyd's money that Floyd let him work with. And he was supposed to get money on that, like interest or dividends or whatever, didn't get anything. And Heyman stopped taking his calls, and it was ugly. So Heyman is proven to be everything I said he was. And Stephen Espinoza is on his way to getting to be proven everything I said he was. So, you know, I pick a lot of winners in fights. I haven't had a loser since I picked Fury to beat Usyk. So I think there's a pretty good track record too.
Okay. Somebody asked in the chat, Rick, they said, why wasn't the settlement spoken on or publicized? Is it due to Al Heyman's contract?
Yeah, it's a stipulation in the settlement that they're not going to talk about it, but at the same time is he's going to have to testify if called upon.
Okay, and like is that part of the advisory contract? Because when they sign,
no, that's part of the stipulation of the settlement. So he wouldn't sue him.
Okay. What do you think all this means for PBC?
These kind of things don't happen in Japan, by the way. I just want to let you know. I know you're more familiar with that these days. But
everyone says that, yeah, they don't happen in Japan because the whole structure of boxing is just different over there. Everything is different over there. Mm-hmm. But what do you think all this means for PBC, Rick, moving forward? Well,
they have very low credibility now, and it just kills any credibility they may have had left.
Okay. Do you see any way back for PBC and Heyman?
No, Heyman's too old. He's sickly. He's too old, and they can't turn a profit. They've made a culture of overpaying fighters, and you can't substantiate a business model on that. You just can't. You can't overpay. I mean, everybody says, "Oh, the fighter should get more money, get his life." You forget that. The promoter can't turn a profit. What's the sense of the promoter putting on the fights and staying in business?
Correct, because this is still a business at the end of the day. The promoter's got.
As I always say, if you're paying to get into a place, it's a sport. If you're taking the money from the people that are coming in, it's a business.
Okay. As far as like when you say they overpay fighters, right? Because some people may push back and say, well, Eddie Hearn and DAZN have overpaid fighters, and Turkey's overpaying fighters. What's so different to what they're doing than Al Heyman? Like, what's the difference?
Al Heyman was overpaying for rummy fights. These guys are overpaying for quality fights. There's a big difference.
You're saying, okay, so he's creating a culture where you're enabling the fighters to get paid for these mismatches, and then when it comes to the real fights,
they don't want to fight.
Yeah,
because you can't pay them 5 times as much. You can only pay them what you just paid them to fight a rummy. Because now you got to pay the other side too.
Correct.
So it's an ugly situation.
No doubt about it. Someone asked in the comments, Rick, do you think this will open the door to other fighters to come after Heyman with his supposed payment plans he would do with said fighters?
I believe it has opened up a definite can of worms.
Yeah,
I just don't see the figures being as big because the other fighters didn't make nearly as much.
So in the coming months, we're probably going to hear all these PBC fighters coming out and saying, "Hey, Al also owes me money too."
I'm not saying they're going to say that, but it could come out in the form of a lawsuit and some